Today I'm going to do a video on self-doubt, and this is going to be a series on self-doubt because it's a pretty big thing. If we doubt ourselves in any way internally, everything in life we're going to doubt, and we're going to have trouble putting ourselves out there doing things. We're going to quit things and give things up a lot, and we're going to feel bad about ourselves for doing so. So today I want to talk about the first video in the series. Really, it's the groundwork of the series, talking a little bit about where does self-doubt come from. And if we can understand that, what the cause is of self-doubt, then we can then move forward, create a positive solution, something that we can follow. And I'm going to offer some talk today about how self-doubt starts, a picture of that. It can start many different ways, but then I'm going to talk a little bit about how it manifests in our lives, and then simple tools that we can use on a daily basis, mindfulness tools and practices that can build confidence and fill that space of the doubt instead with a confidence to help us move forward and build more confidence and success and feel better about ourselves. So self-doubt, looking back, we think, well, where did this start? A lot of people I work with, they think I had a really good childhood. And then after we do some work together and I get them to start really looking at things and going deeper in themselves, they say, there's this part of me that always kind of felt this way, doubting myself. And at a younger age, from a really young age, they can remember feeling not confident. And self-doubt doesn't always come from a young age. It can come from particular experiences in life, a traumatic experience that changes us, affects us, creates some fear in us that it's hard to put ourselves out there, and that creates doubt. But a lot of times it's from when we're younger. And a lot of times when we have, our upbringing with our parents, that they have good intentions, but they don't understand our needs or how to give us our needs as well as they could, because maybe they're dealing with stuff from their childhood, or they just don't know. They're different than us. They don't fully see our needs. But in some way or other, if we're not supported in what we feel, our emotions, our feelings when they come up, and a lot of parents aren't very good at that. They do things to push their feelings down, and it's hard for them to deal with feelings, and so they kind of shove it away and push through things. They're taught to maybe be tough and push through things, and if we're taught that, to push away from what we feel, then what we feel, we're going to doubt what we feel. We're going to doubt who we are if we're not supported through what we feel, because that's how we build confidence, really. It's in doing things, feelings come up and we feel stuff through it, and a lot of stuff we give up, things that make us feel uncomfortable, anxious, afraid, things that might even make us feel a panic attack, things we give up. It's always because of a feeling. And if we don't feel good with a feeling and we push it aside, and we're used to doing that, it makes it really hard to do things, because these feelings can kind of block us. And so at a young age, if we're not supported and encouraged to be with what we feel, to cultivate who we really are, if we have things taken away from us and told how to do things, if we're told, big boys don't cry, that's enough, quiet. We're told to not express ourselves. When we're crying, we're told maybe bad things, or we're told that's enough, or we're not hugged, or we're not supported through it. We can build a negative association to our feelings and emotions. And then what happens is we're not comfortable with our feelings and emotions. We kind of push them aside. And that's who we are. Who we are is built upon our feelings and emotions around our life experiences. And so we start to build a negative association around life experiences in a way. We're not being who we really are. We're not confident in doing things. And if that happens at a young age, where we're not confident in being with what we feel, then it's hard to do a lot of things, because feelings come up that make us uncomfortable. We don't know how to deal with them, so to push them aside, we just stop doing the things that make us feel uncomfortable. And so that builds a lifetime of lack of confidence, of doubt, doubting what we feel, doubting who we are, doubting our inner voice. We start to lose our voice. We don't speak up. We don't set healthy boundaries because we doubt who we are. But it's really based on our feelings, not having enough support in some way or other in life, probably when we're younger, to deal with something. Through a traumatic experience, it can happen with that too, where we feel so much, we just can't deal with it. It's too much at one time. And this could happen as an adult. And our subconscious mind creates a coping mechanism to keep us from feeling that way ever again. So if anything we do when we put ourselves out there makes us feel some uncomfortable feelings, then what happens is we get disconnected from our feelings, and our subconscious mind keeps us from doing that thing. Quite often it gives us panic or uncomfortableness or fear, and it keeps us, it protects us from feeling that way ever again from the traumatic experience. And so life can become very limiting when we don't feel comfortable about ourselves. When we have some experience in the past maybe that was traumatic, and we have these coping mechanisms coming in to protect us. And so I want to talk about self-doubt. So if we get a sense looking back in our life, I really wasn't supported through what I felt. I really wasn't encouraged through things. My parents never really let me do things on my own. They always did it for me, or they took things away and said, do it this way. I'm 6 years old, and there's an adult that took something away from me thinking I should be able to do it as good as an adult. But how could I? That happens. That happens more than you would think. So I don't know what your experience is looking back, or maybe you had some experiences in life, an accident or something, that a breakup, some traumatic experience that was really maybe emotionally devastating. Maybe there was pain associated with it. And so after that, you just never felt the same. And you just sort of question and doubt things and feel a lot of fear. Well, this video series is intended to help you to overcome that. But this first video is to just really go deep and have a look. And I do an awareness practice to help people to connect internally, to start to see what's going on in their lives. And I'm going to put a link down below, and there is a video that I do, an awareness practice that I guide you through. It's in my Cultivating Life Purpose series, where we need to connect to our body to really get clear on inner guidance and life purpose guidance. But it's the same thing with this. If we want to see kind of what's going on, where self-doubt is coming from, doubtful feelings, uncomfortableness around doing things, where we quit things, or we just don't feel confidence doing things, it's good to really create an awareness practice to start sitting with what you feel, go into your breathing, and practice just being with the inner felt sensations of your body, to start to get used to those feeling sensations in life experiences when feelings come up. And as you start to do that, you'll start to see a little bit more, maybe some patterns in the past, and look at things and contemplate things a little bit. And that's what I want to encourage you today, is to start contemplating, what was it like growing up? What kind of support did I have? When did I start feeling this lack of confidence? When did I feel doubtful? When did I have trouble putting myself out there? Was that kind of always there? Or did it happen at one point in time? Did this experience at school where I stood up and I tried to do the oral report and I got laughed at by the whole class, or somebody made fun of it and pointed something at me, and it just felt like I was being laughed at everywhere I went? Did something like that happen? Did we feel bad about something? Was there an accident or a traumatic experience in life, losing somebody, where we just didn't feel good after that? So it's good to kind of get a sense of where these things might have started, and get a sense, what is it I might have needed then instead of what happened that would have helped, supported me through what I felt, and to start learning to give that to ourselves now. And so we're going to be going into this a little bit more after this video, with some helpful tools to start recognizing where these things are coming from, and to start being with your body and your feeling sensations, so you can start to build confidence in who you are. And that'll make it so you have more confidence in doing things. So if you can build confidence in the emotions and feelings within you when you do things, that will help you to be able to do things and feel confident, you see. When you start to build emotional competence, where you start to feel competent that, yeah, I can be with what I feel, no matter what it is, whatever I do, whatever my goal, it's way up here, and I have to stretch myself above what I'm feeling. I can breathe into it, I can be with what I feel, and it might be a lot, but I can handle that, I can process through it and wait until, okay, I'm good. Now I can take the next step and go through the process of being what I feel. Now you're confident you can do whatever it is you set your mind out, and you build confidence instead of doubting yourself. And then you feel good about completing things rather than quitting and leaving a trail of unfinished things behind you that you feel bad about. That just builds more self-doubt. So we're wanting to build confidence, not self-doubt. And so I hope you enjoy this video, and it starts to get you thinking that you can change self-doubt and you can turn it into confidence bit by bit. And it really starts with a simple practice of being with what you feel, reconnecting with your body feelings and sensations, and starting to accept those feelings, sensations, and the inner parts of yourself. That's where confidence comes from, is internally. And then as we do things externally, bit by bit, in a comfortable, safe way, we challenge ourselves bit by bit to grow and expand and build comfort and confidence around being able to handle what we feel. So my name is Arnie Peterson from Awareness and Health in Victoria, BC, and I want you to get a lot from this series. So I hope you watch this video and then stay tuned for the next one in a few days or within a week or so. And on my website, I have a list of a lot of different challenges people go through, and I'm working through and I'm adding videos on all of those areas. And right now I'm working on self-doubt and life purpose as well. And so watch the series as they go, and I think they'll help you a lot. Wish you an absolutely wonderful rest of your day.